Okay, welcome back. It is day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft. The Seattle Seahawks have 2 picks in the 4th round at 102 and 118. 102 is the second pick in the 4th round. Here we are. We're at that point in the draft where you can actually take players that are going to build your Super Bowl team. This is where you find guys that have some special traits that you've overlooked or that you need that are going to make you a special football team. I don't know if either one of the two guys the Seahawks have taken so far with their 2 picks at 16 and 81, Byron Murphy and Haynes, the guard. I don't really think either one of them is a special player. I don't think any one of them dramatically improves the football team. I think they'll improve it somewhat. And in both cases, I would have taken quarterback Spencer Rattler, who was the last starting quality quarterback left on the board. None of the other quarterbacks in this draft are worth anything. Now, people can mock me for that. They can attack me. Quarterback is the most important position on a football team, and you cannot win a Super Bowl without one. The Seahawks seem to be trying to prove that that's not true. But here's the fact: for some reason, reasons which are inexplicable to me, Spencer Rattler, with his starting abilities and his great arm and his great footwork and his great skills and his ability to handle pressure and get away from it, has slipped to the 4th round. It is very unlikely that anybody is going to take him right ahead of us. It looks like Rattler's going to be there at 102. And the simple fact is, if the Seahawks don't take Spencer Rattler at 102, they are certifiably insane. Okay, we're here with day 3. The Seahawks are picking second here in about a half an hour. We'll be going live with day 3 of the NFL Draft. It starts very early. Not much. How you doing, Endgame? And Myrtle Mayhem. Hey, Mike, and I'm not big on the NFL anymore. I don't blame you, especially when they put a bunch of groomers out there for LGBTQ yesterday. It's nauseating, but I'm addicted. I can't help. It's like the same thing with my Dr. Pepper. I can't help it. I'm addicted. Uh, and I still talk about it. So thank you. I'm glad you're watching analysis. I'm glad there's a few of you people here. It's nice to know that. Okay, so look, here's the point. The Seahawks need a quarterback. They are delusional. They've deluded themselves into thinking they don't. They've passed on quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Yesterday, I heard Rob Staten say something to the effect, responding to my super chat, that that they really haven't had a chance to draft a quarterback. They've had multiple chances to draft multiple quarterbacks, all of whom have more upside than Geno Smith. So before we go to go to the draft, I want to play back Rob Staten and Robbie's response. Sorry, Robbie, I don't know your last name, to my super chat yesterday, talking about what I was going to do if the Seahawks do not, in fact, draft Spencer Rattler at 102 after they've passed on him twice in this draft already. Here we go. Here's Rob.
And he's kind of just sort of wafted them away, then that might not have gone down so well. But I'm just trying to guess, because talent-wise, he is not a 4th round pick. Talent-wise, he's far higher than a 4th round pick, and yet here he is. Mike has sent a super chat saying, being a lifetime fan of the team is soul destroying. Okay. I swear to God, if they don't take Rattler at 102, I'm going to break into the VMAC and steal the rest of the pictures off the walls. I mean, listen, Mike, I think Mike's very vocal on social media, and he has been in the comment section, if it's the same Mike, being quite complaining about the fact that they haven't taken a quarterback this year.
Why there's a picture.
Robbie, as someone who I think has made it very clear that I personally think they have to go and find a young quarterback sooner rather than later, and this constant kicking the can down the road annoys me a little bit. But then I also have some perspective in that I don't really know what else they could have done this year Like, what were we hoping that they'd spend like 3 first rounders to go and get Michael Penix? That, the rest of the league has not taken Spencer Rattler in the first 100 picks either. So it's not just a Seahawks thing. And if they pass on him at 102, are we really going to sort of wring our hands over passing on a quarterback on day 3 in the draft, like so that every other team has passed on already? I think they do have to find somebody quite quickly. But I also don't think, Robbie, we can complain too much about. There's not been an endless list of missed opportunities in the last 2 years, has there?
Yes, Rob. In fact, there actually has been an endless list. And let me go through that list for you right here, actually. Sam Howell, who we had to trade the equivalent of a third round pick for, and who's not very good, but who might have some upside potential if the coaches can work with him. Brock Purdy, who started and almost won the Super Bowl this past year. They could have traded up to number 1 last year for CJ Stroud easily. They easily had the juice to do that. They could have definitely made a better deal worth more points than the Panthers and taken CJ Stroud, and this would all be over. They could have taken Will Levis at 5. They could have taken Will Levis at 20. They could have traded up for Michael Penix this year. It wasn't that they couldn't trade up for Penix. They didn't want to. They didn't want to pay the price. Well, I believe when you see how great Michael Penix is, you're going to realize, wow, 3 first-round picks in a couple seconds and maybe DK Metcalf would have been worth it for this guy. They could have taken Spencer Rattler at 16, and they could have taken Spencer Rattler at 81. The thing about the two guys they took, Murphy and Haynes, they're both probably pretty good football players, but they don't markedly improve this football team, and they're not stars. Spencer Rattler has star quality. Wow, we're running out of time. I got to get onto this. Spencer Rattler has star quality. Now, have other teams passed on him? Yeah. 198 teams passed on Tom Brady also. 74 other teams passed on Russell Wilson. So that's not any indicator of how good a player is. Is there some character flaw we don't know about that might be out there? Maybe. Maybe that's why he slid down. Most people had him evaluated as a 4th-round pick. But as Rob said, you cannot evaluate him as a 4th-round pick on talent. He's a 1st-round pick on talent. And look, here's the bottom line. If they don't take him at 102, it's because they are deliberately not taking a quarterback. The upside of taking Spencer Rattler here is you have 2 young quarterbacks. You keep 3 for this season. And after you cut Geno to save 25 or 30 million under the cap next year and give yourself gobs of cap space to deal with, you'll have 2 quarterbacks on the roster, Howell and Rattler, both of whom will be costing you far, far less than the $25 million in cap space we're sinking into Geno this year, who's 34 and declining. If they don't take Rattler at 102, if they say, oh, well, we were gonna wait and take him at 118 when somebody else jumps up and takes him, they're fucking liars and they're clowns. They're complete idiots. So I'm going to have them taking him at 102 because it's the only thing that makes any sense. If they don't take him, there is a deliberate intent not to take a quarterback. That's all there is to it. There's a deliberate intent not to take a quarterback on the part of the Seattle Seahawks, which would be an absolutely foolish thing to do. Okay, we do not have time to deal with other teams' picks, so we're not going to make other teams' picks. I think the draft starts at 9 in the morning. It's about 13 minutes away. So what I want to do is set this up and go through it. We're going to go with all 7 rounds. We're going to go fast, and our only team we're going to pick for is the Seattle Seahawks. There are some good players left. If you slide over to Rob's current horizontal board, let's do that real quickly before we get started. If you slide over there, there's some good players left. Spencer Rattler being the top one. Ben Sinnott? No, he's gone. This is the old. No, this is okay. He probably has a new horizontal board. But sorry, when you look at the 4th-round players that are left, Spencer Rattler, who he had as a top 2nd-round pick, there's a lot of good players left. There's guys like Malik Mustafa. There's some linebackers left. I like Tommy Eichenberg. Let's see where this draft goes. Okay, back over. Let's go ahead and get it started and try to get it done. 7 rounds taking for the Seahawks. We're going to go fast and we're going to enter the solo draft. And what it will do is it should fill in all the draft picks that have already been made and leave us at 102. Now, I would have gone kind of the opposite direction the Seahawks went. They went defense, offense. I would have gone offense, defense. But okay, we have an offer from the Cardinals for 104 and 191. We're not going to take it. They took Brandon Dorlus, the edge, the Panthers did with the first pick. We're on the clock. I'm not even going to hesitate. We're going to go quarterback. We're going to take Spencer Rattler. We have a future at the quarterback position. Now, boom. Let's see who went after that. Yeah, Jalen Wright, the running back from Tennessee. Braylon Allen, running back. I don't know why the Cardinals were taking another running back. Christian Mahogany, who was a good player we could have taken here. TJ Tampa, Devontae Walker, the wide receiver. Troy Franklin from Oregon. And you can make arguments that all these guys, are value picks here at 102, but Rattler is the player that the Seahawks need. And at some point, even if you claim somebody's ahead of this guy on your board, you have to draft for need. You can't go value all the time. You can't reach for need, but you also can't be a slave to your draft board. When you need a young quarterback and he's there, you go get him. All right, now let's go back to these other guys, Travis, Pratt, Milton. They're bums. None of them are ever going to be a starter. Now we're at 94. We can go with Cedric Van Pran, Granger, Paul Muad'Dib, Usul, Johnny Fuckerfaster. He's got 14 names. Those are good players. Cedric Gray is a good player. Bucky Irvin, Cade Stover, the tight end. Jaden Hicks, the safety. Malik Mustafa, the safety. These are all guys that Mekhi Wingo, the defensive tackle. What do I do here? Well, the number one need for the Seahawks is after quarterback is linebacker or safety. We need to get some depth at those positions. We could use another inside offensive lineman. Cedric Van Pran, Granger, Paul Muad'Dib, might be a good player. But I'm not prioritizing that position because we just took Haynes. So in terms of linebackers, I really like Tommy Eichenberg. We'll see if he hangs around. But right now, the top guy on the board, Rob was describing Cedric Gray yesterday and saying he's not a big hitting linebacker. He's a finesse cover linebacker. Guess what? That's what Mike McDonald likes. He likes linebackers that can cover. Cedric Gray, I had heard was going to go in the second round of the Eagles, but they made a bunch of trades. I'm just going to take Cedric Gray and fill my linebacker need right here. Now, boom, 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 boom. A bunch of guys go. Cade Stover just went. Tight end, yeah, I'd like to get a tight end, but I think we can get a tight end late. Tommy Eichenberg just went. I was going to double down and take Tommy Eichenberg. He didn't make it. A lot of good players went. Cedric Van Pran, Granger, great pick by the Bengals if they do that. Theo Johnson, tight end, goes to the Tennessee Titans. This is ridiculous. Broncos taking Michael Pratt, taking a second quarterback. Yeah, come on. Okay. So now we're into what's left. Our pick is 192 in the 6th round, or 179 in the 6th round. Who's left? Well, linebacker, offensive guards, offensive tackles, Xavier Thomas, Josh Proctor, Zion Tuopola Futelli, blah, blah. The guy that I really like, and I don't think we need an edge, but the guy that I really like, Brennan Jackson from Washington State. I like him a lot. 6'3", 264. I think he makes a lot of tackles, a lot of plays. I'm going to take him with my 5th round pick. Brennan Jackson is now a Seattle Seahawk. Now, is this right? Do we actually still have that pick? 179? I don't know, but we could probably still get him at 192. Now we're back to 192. We have one pick left in this draft. We haven't taken a tight end. I want to look at the offense. I want to look at the tight ends. Tanner McLaughlin from Arizona, Baylor Cup, Jack Westover, Devin Culp from Washington. These guys are rated way down the list. I'm going to take Tanner McLaughlin, the tight end, right here. Let me look at the safeties really quick, see if there's anybody left in the safeties that I'm really wild about. Um, I'm not. I'm not wild about safety as a position anyway. So Josh Proctor, safety from Ohio State. What's his size? 6'1", 200. I think tight end is a bigger need than safety, so we're going to go tight end. 235, our very last pick. I would double down on tight end here because I don't think Pharaoh Brown is an NFL player anymore. I would take absolutely would take somebody like Devin Culp or the one of the Husky tight ends, either Devin Culp or Jack Westover, who ran an incredible 40 time. I'm trying to, is it in his notes? No, it's not in his notes. But what I'm going to tell you is safety can wait. It's not that critical a position. Safety can wait, and a second tight end can wait until undrafted free agency. I'm taking Drake Nugent, the Michigan center. Why? Because he's from Michigan. He's a center. He was a starter for them for several years. We've already got Olu Oluwatimi, who started in front of him. We're going to create some competition at the center position. We're going to take Drake Nugent from Michigan and fill out our draft. So, kaboom. We are done. This is our Seahawks draft for 2024. We got Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle from Texas. A lot of people think he's a great player. I think he's a good player. We'll see if he's better than Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, and Draymond Jones, who are starting in front of him. I'm not sure he is, but we'll see if he's just the same as those guys or if he's better. Christian Haynes, the offensive guard from UConn. I think we're hoping he's going to start for us at guard. He played right guard his entire career. That would force a move for Anthony Bradford over to the left side. Spencer Rattler, the pick I made, 102. If they don't make this pick, they are a fucking clown show because he will fill in a critical need, which is who is the young quarterback on this team going forward that we're going to try to build around. Who's the guy who's going to get DK Metcalf the ball? Cedric Gray, the linebacker from North Carolina. That's a great pick. Brennan Jackson, edge is not a desperate need, but now we've created more competition there with a guy who has the talent to come off the edge. Tanner McLaughlin, the tight end. We need another tight end to make our tight end room better because it's pretty weak behind Noah Fant, and Drake Nugent, the center from Michigan, creates another body on the offensive line. That's it. I think we are done. And if the draft actually went this way, I'd probably end up giving it an A. Right now, it's a D because they haven't addressed the quarterback position, which is their absolute number one need. So that's it. That's what I got. That's what I'm hoping. Bills did pretty good yesterday in game 22. Bills did pretty good yesterday. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch the draft. I am going to hope and pray and pray and pray and pray that they take the quarterback. Because if they take Spencer Rattler at 102, I will finally shut the fuck up about quarterback. And then I can get, and then me and a lot of other people who understand football can get behind the team. Right now, I can't get behind them because I don't think they've done much of anything in this draft or this offseason. How are they really going to be better? Well, they're going to be better because Pete Carroll's not the coach anymore. But that isn't going to be enough to get them into Super Bowl contention. And they never will be in Super Bowl contention with Geno. All right. Thanks for being here. Let's all sit down and pray to God that they take Spencer Rattler at 102. Have a great, great day.